What's going on, guys? Jacob Ober here. Tonight, the Milwaukee Bucks defeat the Toronto Raptors 125 to 103. Unfortunately, I was at work for the majority of the game, so I didn't get to really see everything that transpired. But the Bucks handled business at home. They take a 2-0 series lead to Toronto. I can't say that I can't speak from actually watching the game, but looking at the box score, the difference once again is that the Bucks got significant contributions from a lot of guys on the bench, and the Raptors got contributions from Norman Powell off the bench, and that was really it. The Raptors, they did a better job tonight of balancing their minutes out, it looked like, but there just wasn't enough guys to produce, and that's, like I said after Game 1, that was the key to Game 1, and that was the key to Game 2 for the Bucks. They just have more depth than the Raptors do, and that's why the Bucks are so good in the postseason right now, because they have so many guys who can come off the bench and relieve the starters and give them breaks, while Kawhi Leonard, has to play 35, 40 minutes a game, and these guys don't get as big of breaks as you might want them to as a Raptors fan. But the Bucks head to Toronto with the 2-0 series lead. At the pace the Bucks are going right now, I could see them sweeping the series. I really could. At the same time, I could also see the Raptors winning one of those games and being able to come back home for Game 5 and potentially win the series in that game. But really, the Raptors look like the Bucks look like a more dominant team right now. They really do, and they've really just. It's getting to a point, where it's like people are saying, oh, the Raptors are playing terrible. Oh, the Celtics played terrible. The Bucks, honestly, are just this good. I've watched them all year long. They do this to teams all the time, even good teams. And they are a team that's not only built for the regular season, but also the postseason. And they had a lot of people doubting their ability to compete in the postseason. Well, they look like a pretty good postseason team to me. They're 10-1 in the playoffs at this point in time. So, I just don't see, the Raptors winning 4 games in the series. The Bucks already have a 2-game advantage here heading to Toronto, and just the way that the percentages even out. The Bucks are willing to give Kawhi Leonard what he wants. They're going to play tough defense on him, but they're willing to live with the fact that Kawhi Leonard is Kawhi Leonard. They're not letting anybody else beat them, and it's working for the Bucks. It really is, and they just don't have anybody else to step up. The Raptors don't, and the Bucks take advantage when the starters for the Raptors have to sit, and they end up, just kind of dismantling teams. And it's not usually they don't usually explode out of the gate on you either. Sometimes the Bucks might have a slow start, but in the end, they always are able to grind out a victory, and usually that's by double digits. So the one outlier was Game 1, and that was a game where the Bucks did not play very good basketball, and the Raptors played some of their best of the entire season. And I saw Kyle Lowry. Oh, what a surprise. He had 15 points tonight on 4-13 shooting. He wasn't going to replicate his performance from last night, and I doubt he replicates it again in this series. And that was a big reason why the Raptors were even in Game 1, because Kyle Lowry hit 7 threes and had 30 points. That wasn't going to happen again, and because it didn't, there wasn't anybody to step up for the Raptors outside of Kawhi Leonard, and look where it got him, I think the Raptors are a great team, and if you're a Raptors fan watching this, please don't take offense to me saying this, but the Bucks are simply a better, deeper team that meshes a lot better together, and they have their superstar as almost more of a playmaker than a scorer at this point. He's just a guy who finds open men and facilitates the offense so well, and there's a dozen sharpshooters on this team. Pat Connaughton, George Hill off the bench. Malcolm Brogdon, a 50, 40, 90 guy, is coming off the bench. Nikola Mirotic is a starter. Brook Lopez, Eric Bledsoe can hit the 3. Chris Middleton is a near 40% three-point shooter. There's just so many guys to hit threes on this team. There's so many guys to space the floor, and it gives the Bucks an advantage every single time they come out and play another team. And the depth that they have, I think that this could challenge the Warriors. The Warriors are obviously a fantastic team, but when I look at it, I think the Bucks play a lot better together, and I don't want to get ahead of myself because I know the Bucks still have to deal with Toronto in this series. But when I look at it, the Bucks, they have a better bench and they play better together as a team. Yes, the Warriors have the advantage in the starters with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. But I don't think they play as well together as a team. They play really well together as a team, but I think the Bucks play better as a team, and they're able to put in their bench unit as well and have almost equal production. So that's going to be an interesting series if we get to it. But just got to focus on Toronto, have to win at least one of the games in Toronto. I don't want to come back home Game 5 with the series tied. I want them to be able to come back home, if they do have to come back home at all, with a chance to win the series. So hopefully the Bucks can steal a game in Toronto and finish it out in 5 in Milwaukee. But anyways, guys, though, that's my thoughts on the game. I'm sorry I didn't really get to talk too much in depth on it because I didn't get to actually see it. But I did get the chance to see the box score, and I will be watching the highlights very, very shortly. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Obersports41512 and on Instagram, username Jacob_Ober, all lowercase. See you next time, guys, and fear the deer.